Ladies and gentlemen, it is the big one. The big cannoli. Oh dear Lord, Spa-Francorchamps. The greatest Formula 1 track. Hell, the greatest track in the world. Here we go, baby. Buckle up. The temple of speed. Terror to some and testosterone, man. This you don't drive Spa. It's a roller coaster, an experience. And this year, I think it's getting personal, lads. It's a 2-horse race at the moment. McLaren, Piastri and Norris. I don't see Verstappen getting back into this. I really don't. Can he do it? So, an impossible task ahead of him to get into the top. To compete for the championship. Now, 2 McLarens, same team, the same dream, even though we also saw at the last round that even though Lando Norris won, Zak Brown wasn't very happy, was he? Did you see that in the interview afterwards? We'll come back to that. Now, Oscar Piastri, the clinical assassin. And lads, Lando Norris, the emotional, probably the crowd favourite, you know, very nice, charming, nice guy, finally tasting, you know, what it's kind of like to lead and lose. And, you know, forget Red Bull, forget it. For now, at least, the championship lead is Piastri's, and you're telling me this war is about to be fought on Spa? I mean, I'm just sorry, guys. I'm even just staring at the screen here at the track map here. It's beautiful. The longest, scariest, most emotionally unforgiving track in Formula 1, and Piastri and Norris go head to head. Let's get into it, and God help them both.
Walsh running the Irish crane, and look at the move. He's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh. Now here's what we love to see here now, lads, alright? I tell you now, here's a dilemma. They're teammates, Piastri and Norris. And they're not friends anymore, right? I don't know if they were that close anyway, but they certainly aren't friends now, let me tell you. And McLaren, the good guys of Formula 1, yeah, right, have become the most emotional battleground of a title fight, lads. The engineers whispering, this happens. The pit wall, I'd say, is sweating. And McLaren, they're kind of running out of team orders here because they want to steer it all towards Piastri. So what I'm reckoning here, a couple of things could happen. All of a sudden, they'll have Norris up there, round and roundabout, but he'll just have a bad pit stop. You know, the bolt got stuck in the gun putting on the thing. Okay, oh, pantomime show. It's amazing the way these things can happen, you know. Now, like, even when we look at it, lads, I mean, it's exciting. Now, do you tell Lando to move over? You can't. Do you trust Oscar to not dive bomb into La Source? Because this guy will, because he's a stone cold assassin, lads. And, you know, the team balance is hanging by a blanket thread here. You know, and Spa doesn't play fair. And let's talk about Zak Brown. After they won in Silverstone, Lando Norris, British team, British driver, wins in Britain. It's like the chocolate factory, the keys to the kingdom here. I mean, it's beautiful. Any other team would be insanely happy. Even when you see this in Drive to Survive, right? You remember Drive to Survive? They loved Max Verstappen at the start, right? We're going back now to like season 1 and 2, lads. And Verstappen was their golden boy, okay? They had Ricciardo up there, right? But Max Verstappen crashes into the wall, and then it's all up down to Ricciardo. Now, Ricciardo, and I'm telling you, lads, I know racing, and I know the signs to look for. Ricciardo was the number 2 boy. Now, they still gave him some equipment, absolutely. But then it was down to Ricciardo. He puts it on pole. He goes winning the race. Christian Horner was over the moon because he still won Monaco, right? He still won Monaco. He wanted Max Verstappen, but hey, it was all over because Verstappen hits the wall and it's all over. So he's happy, even though he's number 2. Zak Brown barely flinched, didn't even smile in that interview. What? Okay, let's talk about Spa itself. First Grand Prix is in the 50s, but its soul is timeless, lads. A circuit carved through the Ardennes like a racing scar, with corners that ask you uncomfortable questions. Eau Rouge, are you brave or are you stupid? Now, for the Formula 1 boys, it's the grip is so good on those cars and so consistent that it's fairly simple for them. Now, if you're in a Formula 4 and you got no wings and you're just sort of coasting very lightly through Eau Rouge, it's a pretty tough challenge. And then you got Pouhon. Now, that's a tough enough one even for the F1 boys, because they can get to a degree where they're actually taking that engine or that corner full speed. So that's really, really important that you get the balance between the commitment and your control. Blanchiment, do you believe in yourself more than physics? This track has seen it all, lads. Unfortunately, death, glory, tears in Parc Fermé, and champagne that tastes like blood and sweat. And this year it's serving up C1s, C3s, and C4s. I have it right in front of me here. That's right. Pirelli's weirdest non-linear trio of tyre compounds in years. This is really out there. And a leap from hard to medium to soft, and like a drunken game of hopscotch here, Sprinkle in some classic Spa weather, which we could easily have here, lads. You could be raining up in Brussels, and then it could be bone dry down at the bus stop, La Source hairpit, turn 1. I mean, this is what it makes it so exciting too. All right, let's get back to the two McLaren boys. I have to talk about these guys. That's all I'm talking about right now. Oscar Piastri, right? He has the points. He's calm. He's the type of guy who could disassemble a gearbox blindfolded and still win the race. But he's cold. He doesn't care if he breaks Lando's heart, and why would he? Who gives a damn, right? The Aussie came to conquer. He wants to win. He wants to destroy. He wants to dominate. Now, you got Lando Norris. He's got some fire in the belly. You got to admit, he's got some fire in the belly this year. He's tasted glory finally proven he belongs up front. I even hesitate when I say that. I love the guy. I think he's such a nice guy, but he's lacking it, man. And with glory comes pressure. And pressure, it doesn't care how many Twitch followers or Instagram or TikTok followers you have. And the garage is split quietly, subtly, but you can feel it. You can see the tension starting to build, lads. Oscar's side, muted, surgical, efficient. Lando's side, chatty, tense, and desperate, I think. And I don't think Max Verstappen's not watching. Third in the standings with 165, waiting like a hawk for McLaren to implode. And one safety car, 63% probability, by the way, right? These are good odds. And Max will be there. He could be sipping the Red Bull and stealing trophies. Let's not forget the tires. C1 is a F to warm up. And C3, is that the safe bet? C4, is it the wild card? A 2-stop possible, but timing is everything. Now, really, the secret around Spa is getting through the pit stop and getting the one pit stop. If you can get your car balanced, which the McLaren's is obviously insanely well balanced in slow, medium, and high-speed corners. It's all consistent, and it's consistent every lap. That's the key. That's the key. And if you get your tires blinding on the hard compound, you've got such a good chance around Spa, because then you can go for the one stop and just keep going and keep plowing it. You're playing the marathon game. All right, lads, picture this. Lap 42 of 44. Piastri leads. Norris is closing in. Verstappen kind of lurking, right? Because, of course, McLaren's pit wall, they go silent. The radios go off. They can't issue team orders again. Not like after Silverstone in Austria. They promised freedom, right? And then there's freedom's price. Turn 8, Lando sends it in. Late in the brakes. Oscar squeezes. They touch. Tiny, but enough. One runs wide. The other goes ahead, or even better, they both go off, and Verstappen goes on to take the win. And somewhere in the background, you got George Russell waiting to get the next podium, waiting to get maybe the next win. Now it's going to be very tough for him. It's chaos. It's cinema. It's Spa. Now, guys, we are over the halfway point, as many of you know already. All right. Here's the thing. This is what's great now for us to watch. McLaren's team are going to be broken, like we've spoken about it. But, you know, when the mist clears and the cars roll into Parc Fermé, what do you have? 2 broken boys, 1 trophy. One is going to be ecstatic, another win under the belt. The other feeling the pressure. And paranoia will kick in. Because are they siding him? Do they favor him more than us? What the hell's going on here? With whether it's Oscar with ice in his veins, or Lando with fire in his chest. This weekend will define their season, maybe even their careers. You never know. And as far as we sit back, popcorn in hand, ready to watch the 2 teammates become rivals in the forest of Ardennes, because in Formula 1, lads, love is temporary, contracts are flexible, but winning's forever.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.